Hi, hello, and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is not my first attempt at creating a YouTube channel. Back, I don't know, 3 years ago, I was bullet journaling quite a lot. If you're not familiar with bullet journaling, it's kind of like an artistic style of journaling / organizing your life. At the time, I loved it. I did it every day. I drew in my journal. I organized everything. But since changing jobs a few times, I haven't really been doing it as much. I still use it in small amounts, but not to the extent that I was doing it. But this channel is not about bullet journaling, obviously. This is a channel about books. Yay! Boy, do I love books. I have been a voracious reader pretty much all of my life. I did have some drought periods. Obviously, when you're in college and you're reading a lot for school, don't necessarily want to read for fun. A lot of it was self-inflicted drought too. I wanted to read the serious books and only read like really thick, large books, and audiobooks don't count. As I've gotten older, of course, I've gotten a little bit more liberal with that idea, more of a childlike wonder that I had when I was a kid and a teenager, just trying to acquire as much knowledge and as many worldviews as possible, and that is kind of where I am with my reading. I figured it'd be fun to kind of start a YouTube channel, see where that goes, see if there's any sort of social media aspect that I want to get into, maybe Instagram, TikTok, who knows? Oh no, another millennial on TikTok, But this pandemic has made everything a little bit nutso, and so I thought it would be kind of fun to take the time that I'm using to read, because I'm reading more than I ever have, and to, start talking about these books that I'm reading. I hope that with this channel, I can introduce books to you that you may not have heard of before or may not have thought about reading before. I hope that you introduce me to books that I may not have thought about reading before. I have a pretty set genre that I like, or a few genres. So yeah, I'm looking forward to learning more from everybody and helping everybody learn from maybe what I've been interested in lately. My other goal is just to be able to read books better. And what I mean by that is that I want to take a little bit more time to sit and think about what I'm reading and what the meaning is. Usually I just kind of speed through a book, and that's kind of always been my deal, especially with the Harry Potter books. Man, I read those books real quick, but I've reread them. So I'm thinking, like, a lot of these books that I'm currently reading, I'm probably not going to reread, but I do want to take away the meaning. So I think that maybe talking about it more and coming up with episodes for books that I've read will make me kind of, keep everything in the old noggin. So just to give you kind of a little bit of a background on where I come from with my reading, I was introduced to a bunch of books my parents read to me when I was little, especially my dad. He would read a lot of middle grade novels to my brother and me, and I was encouraged to read chapter books, as we called it back in the day, and that kind of went on, and then of course Harry Potter happened, and then that was the explosion of reading for me in my life. I spent a lot of summers, winters, and spring breaks at my parents' lake house, which did not have internet for a long time, and so while everyone was out in the outdoor playground that we had, I was home curled up in the sunroom with a good book. So that's kind of where my trajectory went. Of course, I went to college. I was a journalism major, and so I was writing and reading a lot, and I didn't quite as much have time to read for fun as I wanted to. So that kind of waned in college. And then as I got a little bit farther away from college, I started to read for fun again, and I have since introduced different methods. Doesn't matter whether it's e-reader, audiobook, borrowed book, whatever, what have you. I love any kind of storytelling, so that is kind of where I am right now. I will read an audiobook on my way to work. I will listen to the audiobook while I'm doing housework, and then when I sit down at the end of the day, I will start reading, you know, my physical book, whether it's an ebook or a actual physical book. The other thing that actually inspired me to do this channel was I saw a video last week. It's about a year old, but I watched it last week about, it's kind of two parts. It's partly how to read more and partly about beautiful bookstores, which I found I got a little emotional with some of those bookstores. Oh my goodness. I need to go to them. That's just how it is. I need to go there. My husband will be happy to go with me, I'm sure, to Europe. Let's go. But yes, so that kind of inspired me to think about reading more and kind of how I can acquire more books per year. And I will link to the YouTube video below, because it really made me rethink how I was reading. The other thing that inspired me was I have recently discovered, I know, I'm 32 years old, and I have recently discovered BookTube and YouTube, BookTube, Book Talk, and Bookstagram. Gotta love that social media terms. So I've discovered those. There are a few YouTube channels that I've been recently watching that I will link to below that I'm inspired by. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. I think it's going to be really fun. I'm going to just kind of be easy breezy about it. I'm not going to have a set schedule. I think it's going to just depend on how my reading goes, and hopefully I can start reading a little bit more. I'm really hoping that this isn't a project that is going to fizzle out. Sometimes that happens to me, and that's okay if it does. I just really don't want this to be extra homework for me. I just want to kind of have a fun atmosphere and create kind of a conversation about what books that I'm reading and what books you all are reading. And I want to post as often as I can, but without taking all of the fun out of what reading is, because it's kind of my break at the end of the day, or on my lunch break. So yeah, this is an experiment. I want to tell people about books that I enjoy, and again, I want to hear about what books you guys enjoy. And yeah, welcome. Thank you guys for stopping by, and hopefully I will post a new video soon.